This thing it's a mental illness. We just got to address it.
That is Republican Tim Burchett smearing people who are transgender.
It's not a normal type lifestyle.
I don't know what you're saying in terms of mental illness. I have no idea what you're talking about in that regard, but I will say this.
Host Maria Bartiromo may have no idea what mental illness is, but she's about to make the case she has one by getting infuriated over something made up.
So to declare a Transgender Visibility Day on the day of Easter holiday, the resurrection, when Christians and Catholics everywhere believe this is a high holy day, that is outrageous.
It might be outrageous if that's what happened, but that's not what happened.
And to me, it is a means to divide us.
Transgender Visibility Day has been marked for 15 years on March the 31st. Easter is always on a Sunday, so Easter fluctuates on the calendar. This year, Easter was also March 31st.
To name Transgender Day on Easter Sunday, Christians across the country felt that was a smack in the face.
If so, it's because they were smacked by unhinged conservatives like Maria Bartiromo.
Christians want their Easter Sunday, and Easter Sunday happens to be on March 31st this year. So to declare a Transgender Visibility Day on the day of Easter holiday, the resurrection.
It was a complete smack in the face, Maria. I even posted on X or Twitter. I said, Jesus wept. I know that's not what Jesus was weeping about, but I felt that was that strong of a message.
The lunatic right-wing message from Burchett and Bartiromo also came from other conservative dingbats.
And if you have a whole calendar, 365 days of the year, and the transgender community purposely chooses the day of Jesus' death or his resurrection, whatever Easter weekend, that seems like a shot, a purposeful shot. Could have been in October. Could have been in August. They chose that day on purpose.
Sure, Jesse. 15 years ago, the transgender community chose March 31st because they knew that in the year of 2024, March 31st would be Easter Sunday. There is idiotic and stupid, and then there is Jesse Waters. But on Fox News, of course, Waters is not alone. Sean Hannity complained about requirements that White House Easter decorations and eggs not have any religious themes or symbols.
Needless to say, any display of Christianity was all but banned from the Biden White House. Even religious-themed painted eggs, they were strictly prohibited. You can't make this up. You really can't. This is simply hostility now towards religion.
Or it's every administration since 1980 honoring the separation of church and state. Yes, what Sean Hannity neglected to point out is that every president since 1980, starting with Ronald Reagan, has followed the same protocol of not allowing religious-themed designs in the Easter egg art contest at the White House. So to follow Hannity's logic, the hostility to religion has also come from Republican presidents Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump. But let's get back to Maria Bartiromo, because she is the Fox host who claims to not know anything about mental illness and clearly never looks in the mirror.
This is what this administration does. Black versus white, Hispanic versus something else, gay versus, homosexual versus heterosexual. I mean, it's rich versus poor. It's all dividing this country, and this is a key weapon that this administration uses time and time again. People are sick and tired of it. Instead of unity, he divides us time and time again.
All because Transgender Visibility Day, which has always been marked on March 31st, came on the same day this year as Easter, or rather, Easter came on March 31st. What's really going on, the real sickness on Fox News and elsewhere, is the right-wing bigotry and hatred towards the LGBTQ community. And here's the proof. There are other national days that also fall each year on March 31st. We've not heard a peep from Maria Bartiromo or any other conservatives about Easter being diminished because of any of these other national days that are also celebrated, as always, on March 31st. This includes National Crayon Day, National Prom Day, National Clams on the Half Shell Day, National Bunsen Burner Day, National Tater Tot Day, World Backup Day. Now, I suppose it's possible that Maria Bartiromo and Congressman Tim Burchett, once informed of these other days, will claim that on March 31st, safeguarding your computer, eating tater tots, using a Bunsen burner for chemistry experiments, eating clams on the half shell, going to prom, and drawing with crayons are all an affront to Jesus. Well, the right-wing lunatics on Fox News are an affront to common sense and basic decency. And it's been that way for years. You may recall that Maria Bartiromo played a key role in the Dominion voting system's defamation lawsuit against Fox News.
Sydney, we talked about the Dominion software. I know that there were voting irregularities. Tell me about that.
Bartiromo not only gave a platform to the reckless lies from Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, but Bartiromo encouraged efforts by Rudy Giuliani to come up with a connection between Dominion and high-level Democrats.
What about this software, this Dominion software?
That's a little harder
troubling
to tell you. Right, it's being analyzed right now. I mean, there are a couple of races that have been reversed because the Democrat was triple counted, two already in Michigan. Now, whether that applies to the whole state or not, I can't tell you yet. But I can tell you that.
Yep.
We have more than enough unobserved ballots in Michigan and in Pennsylvania to overthrow the election.
Okay, perfect. And then this Dominion software, does Nancy Pelosi have an interest in it?
I've read that. I can't prove that yet.
Okay.
Fox News ended up settling the Dominion lawsuit for $787 million. But to underscore the point that Maria Bartiromo is arguably nuts, as Media Matters reported in 2023, Steve Bannon and Maria Bartiromo plotted to discredit Biden and get Bartiromo elected to the Senate. Quote, the conversation, which took place on November 10, 2020, began with Bartiromo messaging Bannon, OMG, oh my God, I'm so depressed, I can't take this, before asking him to appear on her show 2 days later. Bannon agreed to come on and reassured her, replying, we've got this. I am watching the world move forward. It's so upsetting, Steve, Bartiromo responded. I want to see massive fraud exposed, she continued. Will he be able to turn this around? I told my team that we are not allowed to say president-elect at all, not in scripts or in banners on air, until this moves through the courts, she added. Bannon then responded that 71 million voters will never accept Biden. This process is to destroy his presidency before it starts, if it even starts, Bannon texted. But I'm scared and sad, Bartiromo replied. You are our fighter, Bannon reassured her. Enough with the sad, we need you. We want you to run against Schumer, he continued. This is your moment. Bannon then texted Bartiromo what he called the plan. Bartiromo never followed the plan. Instead, she stayed on at Fox News. And to this day, she continues to claim ignorance about mental illness, while arguably displaying her insanity in countless text messages and shows. And if Bartiromo is not mentally ill, the situation with her is even worse, because in that scenario, she's literally making things up that she knows are false. Either way, Maria Bartiromo is a stain on America and an embarrassment to everybody who cares about basic facts. By the way, in Georgia, a MAGA stage recently crashed, symbolizing the karma now hitting the Trump world.
God bless you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
In Georgia was a rally for Trump supporters with a local Republican chairman.
That didn't work out. We'll repair that.
Everybody's okay, thank goodness.
A close call because of reckless weight distribution was a metaphor for MAGA and Trump instability throughout the weekend. Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from RBN Sullivan, who wrote, Trump is running his whole campaign on retaliation, not democracy. I agree. I look forward to reading your comments about Maria Bartiromo scoffing at mental illness and then making the case that she is mentally ill. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.